Hi artists, today we are going to use the elements of art to create a self-portrait drawing, a picture of ourselves. So let's review the elements of art together. First we have line. I think of it as a dot that went for a walk. Next, when lines connect, they create shapes. The next element of art is color. There can be different types of color in your artwork. Form. Is there a three-dimensional space inside of a shape? Value. The same color can be brighter or darker. Texture. How something feels or appears to feel. And space. The area within. So now that we know the elements of art, we are going to draw how to create a self-portrait using the elements of art. Show me who you are behind your mask.
All right, let's begin with a piece of paper that's vertical. Bring the bottom of the paper to the top. Hold it still with one hand and then fold the bottom. Now you'll have two pieces of paper at the top. Bring one of those down to the bottom fold. Make sure you match those edges up really well before you fold. And then repeat the same process to that other sheet of paper. Now unfold just one. And this is where we will draw your masked portrait. Begin in the middle of that folded line and create a small arch like a rainbow. That's one eyelid. One finger away, draw another eyelid. Go ahead and use a horizontal line to close that shape, making kind of a half circle shape. Let's draw your iris, the colorful part of your eye, then the pupil, the black part of your eye that you see with. You could draw a line that divides the pupil in half, create one little half, or color one little half, not create. I guess we're creating eyes. I can't talk, it's too early. And then go ahead and shade for a highlight. Eyelashes, if you want them, they do help protect your eyes, and maybe some eyebrows to show how you're feeling. It's pretty tricky to show how you're feeling behind a mask, so those eyebrows are going to come in really handy. Find the middle, go up a little bit, that's your hairline. Create an arch like a rainbow that starts on one side of your head, goes to that dot, and comes down. That line's a little tricky. You could practice with your finger a couple of times first. I'm drawing the tops of my ears, and then I'm thinking about the texture of my hair. Maybe your hair has a curly texture, a straight texture. Draw that, and then any other hairstyle you might want to add. It's a little easier if you draw your hair up, but you don't have to. You could draw your hair any way you like. Now for the masked chinny chin chin. Find your chin, and then starting at the side of your face, go down to that dot you've created, and go back up. I know I'm going really fast. Just hit the pause button or rewind if you need to. Now for the mask, I'm drawing a line that starts at that dot I created, and then arching from one side of my face to the other. Now you get to design your mask. One of the best things about wearing a mask is all of the cool, fun, and funky patterns that I've noticed on them. So create your very own. Then draw two lines that come down for your neck. Let's talk about different hairstyles. Maybe you have bangs or hair that goes over your forehead. Maybe you have short hair that's straight. Think about those textures as you start to draw. Let's go over how to draw that mask one more time because I know I went pretty fast. Draw that curve line and then again, think of a pattern. Ooh, look at me, I'm thinking. Ooh, stripes sounds great. So I'm going to add stripes. I could even color them in the color of my favorite sports team. Who am I kidding? I don't watch sports. Notice I unfolded my paper, and in the top rectangle right under my face, I'm going to draw my chin, this time without my mask. I'm repeating the same process of putting a small dot there and bringing my lines down very slowly. Again, you might want to practice with your finger first because it can be a little tricky to draw such a large line. Now, think of your nose. Remember to draw it below the crease. And your mouth. I have a lot of space, so I'm going to draw a great big grin on my face. But you could draw your mouth any way you like. I'm just giving you a couple of different ideas. Maybe you want to have a tongue. I always use like a little flying bird for my tongue. a little chinny chin chin, and then your teeth. If you're missing some teeth, thank you, Tooth Fairy, for delivering that little dinero under my pillow. Then you can draw some of your teeth missing. This is your time to draw your good-looking self. So get creative. Drawing 2 lines down for my neck, and then I'm going to just close that with a curved line to show that my neck has the form of a cylinder. Now, let's talk about a different kind of smile. I'm just repeating the same steps in case you missed any. Maybe a different kind of upside-down questionable nose, and then maybe a side smile. Again, this is your time to draw your good-looking self. Grab a mirror if you want to. Check out any freckles, moles, glasses, whatever you have that makes you different and unique, and don't forget to include them. Now it's time to talk about the person that you are. Words that describe just how awesome and amazing and incredible of a kid you are. Let's go beyond things like pretty or cute. Why don't we think about what makes you special and different and unique? Maybe you're artistic or athletic. I know you're super smart, definitely kind and considerate, helpful in any kind of way. I'm quite positive. Those are the words that you could use to describe yourself. If you want to turn them into bubble letters, try drawing them first and then creating curved letters that kind of bubble or go around. You'll notice I did that with a pencil first, and I'll do that the same here for block letters. It's a little bit easier to try with a pencil first, and then when you feel like you've really got it, then trace over it with a permanent marker. Then, in those empty spaces between the words, you could draw different kinds of designs, patterns, whatever you feel like. Again, if you get a little stumped for a word, why don't you ask someone in your family or a good friend? I'm sure that they can help you out. So, now that I've gotten my words on here, any in-between spaces, I'm just going to add little bits of decorations and designs. Like so. Look at that. Any empty spaces, like I said, I just kind of filled them in. Think of it like as a doodling kind of surface. So any kind of areas that you want to pop a cool design in, I say go for it. Now let's talk about drawing our face a little bit differently. Maybe you want to include glasses in your self-portrait. It can be a little tricky because part of your face is obscured by the folded paper and the mask. So notice I drew half of the glasses, opened the paper, and then drew the bottom half. So if you want to include those, now you know what to do. And if you think of a better way to do it, I say go for it. All right, back to creating more words that describe the awesome person that I am. Once you've completed your portrait, then it's time to color. I'll be using crayons and markers to decorate mine. You can use whatever your little art-making heart desires. When you're finished, I wonder, would it be fun to make portraits of friends or family members or even a relative that you haven't seen for a while that you could send a portrait to? You could send your portrait, or even better, you could create a portrait of them with words that describe them. All right, now when I'm coloring, I'm using markers for things that I really want to stand out and radiating lines that go around the edges of my face. Now I can open it and see, ta-da, there I am with all of the words that describe me, the amazing kid behind the mask. I cannot wait to see what you create. Have fun, friends.